Hi, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to your Ladies' Seasons, the place where we hold space for every feeling, every fear, and every phase of becoming who we are meant to be. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us, and if you've been listening for a while, welcome back to your soft place to land. Today's topic is an incredibly important one, but also one that is often avoided. We're going to explore why, for some girls and women, menstruation doesn't feel like a celebration or a rite of passage, but instead feels like something uncomfortable, even upsetting. And more deeply, we'll look at how this might connect to something many of us don't always realize: we're struggling with resistance to stepping into the feminine role itself. If you've ever felt uneasy about your period, or even about being a girl in general, please know that you're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken, you're not dramatic. And you're definitely not the only one who has felt this way. Let's begin gently, as always. For many girls, getting their first period is something they've been told to expect, maybe even look forward to. But what if that moment doesn't feel exciting? What if, instead of feeling grown up or proud, a girl feels confused, upset, or even a little betrayed by her own body? Some girls feel an inner resistance to menstruation that runs deeper than just cramps or inconvenience. For them, menstruation becomes a symbol, one they don't feel ready for or even want to claim. Why? Because for some, menstruation feels like undeniable proof that you're female. It's as if your body is shouting it, even if part of you quietly wishes that weren't the case. That wish doesn't always come from nowhere. Let's go back just for a moment to childhood. It's actually really common for little girls to go through a phase where they wish they were boys. Maybe they see boys being treated differently, being given more freedom, being allowed to be louder, messier, braver. Maybe it feels like boys don't have to be good all the time. This isn't about not liking who you are. It's about what you observe, and sometimes about what feels safer. For some girls, that childhood phase passes, but for others, especially if they've heard scary or negative things about womanhood, about pain, or marriage, or childbirth, that little wish might stick around, quietly hiding in the background of their minds. Then puberty hits, and suddenly your body starts making it clear you are not a boy. You are becoming a woman. And if that old part of you is still wishing to be something else, it can feel jarring, even painful. Imagine being a young girl, hearing older women, maybe even your own mother, talk about how hard life is for women. Maybe you hear about painful childbirth, difficult relationships, or all the ways women are expected to sacrifice. Maybe what you hear makes being a woman sound more like a burden than a blessing. If that's the story you've grown up with, it makes sense that menstruation might not feel like a celebration. Instead, it might feel like a sentence, a symbol of all the hardship that seems to be waiting ahead. And so, it's not just about the physical side of having a period, it's what it means. It feels like saying goodbye to the freedom of childhood and hello to responsibilities you didn't ask for and don't feel ready for. Can you relate to that? If you can, you are so not alone. Here's something tender and true sometimes. A girl doesn't even know why she feels upset about menstruation. She might tell herself it's because she can't go swimming, or it ruins her weekend, or it makes her feel gross. And those reasons are totally valid. But underneath that, there could be something quieter, a secret sadness, a small grief, for the part of her that wished she didn't have to deal with this at all. Because if you still carry that inner wish to be anything other than what you are, maybe not even consciously, then menstruation feels like a rejection of that wish, a final, unchangeable no. It's not about rejecting your body. It's about feeling disconnected from the story you've been told about what it means to have that body. And then there's the way we're taught to talk, or not talk, about menstruation. Many girls grow up believing it's something to hide, something that boys must never find out about, something that should never be seen, never be spoken of openly. So the shame gets wrapped up in secrecy. Girls might wear extra makeup to hide how tired they feel. They'll go to gym class even when they're cramping, just so no one suspects. They'll bury used pads at the bottom of the trash, afraid someone might find out. But here's the thing. Boys and men usually aren't thinking about it nearly as much as girls imagine. Most of them aren't scanning your face, looking for signs of a period. That fear is something we often project onto them, because we've been taught that menstruation is embarrassing. It's not. It's a part of life, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. What if we looked at menstruation differently? What if we saw it as a sign of strength instead of weakness, a sign of life instead of limitation? When we truly understand menstruation, not just biologically but symbolically, it becomes clear that this isn't about punishment. It's about potential. Your body is capable of something miraculous. And whether or not you ever choose to have children, that inner power lives in you. But we can't fully embrace that unless we first make peace with the stories we've been told and the ones we've told ourselves. So let's start rewriting them. Being a woman doesn't have to mean suffering. It doesn't have to mean silence. It doesn't have to mean giving everything of yourself and receiving nothing in return. You get to decide what being a woman means to you. You can honor your cycle without loving every part of it. You can step into your femininity without following every traditional expectation. You can embrace your womanhood with softness, curiosity, and grace at your own pace. If you've struggled to accept your body, your role, or your place in the world as a girl or woman, I want to tell you something, heart to heart. You don't have to be at war with yourself anymore. It's safe to come home to your body. It's safe to feel confused, or scared, or unsure. It's safe to grow into who you are, slowly and beautifully. As we close today's episode, I just want to say this. If menstruation ever made you feel small, scared, or sad, I see you. If being a girl has ever felt heavy or hard, I'm with you. If part of you still isn't sure how to feel about all this, that's okay. You're allowed to take your time. You're allowed to ask questions. You're allowed to grieve the story you thought life would be and write a new one. In your own words, being a woman isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about connection. And it's about coming home to yourself again and again. Thank you for being here with me today, in this sacred and tender space. If this episode spoke to you, I'd love to hear from you. Let's talk in the comments. What stories have you carried about what it means to be a girl? And what new story would you like to begin writing for yourself? Until next time, be gentle with yourself. You are not alone, and you are growing beautifully. See you in the next video.